All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very special Facebook and YouTube Live. We're doing a G Scale edition, and a couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, I saw an awesome Instagram post by Dylan Hoffman, and he also goes by the Instagram handle of Crazy Train 525. Is that right, Dylan?
Yes, that is correct.
All right. And he had a awesome post of bringing G scale trains to the beach. And I couldn't even believe it. My father couldn't believe it. I think John saw it and he couldn't believe it. It was just wild. And I just wanted to show to everyone and the world out there how cool trains could be, and you just don't need to run them around in one circle. You can do many different things. Creativity will lead you to endless amount of ideas, and Dylan is living proof of it. He also has a YouTube channel that he does crazy and wild things with his G scale trains that get so many views. I give him credit. And so I'm glad everybody's watching. Wyatt, thank you. You're a big fan of the show. I appreciate it. And hello, Train Boy Productions. Appreciate it. And let me show you this clip now that we got a bunch of people watching tonight, and we'll show you what exactly Dylan took to the beach in Jersey. Give me 1 second. Now, this is a Jersey beach. Snooki was not there, right, Dylan?
No, not that I saw. Had Lucy the elephant, though. That was just as good.
Wow. Now, Dylan, you're in the middle of this?
Yes.
That's wild.
He decided to build a nice sand wall so the train can go up and around it.
This is crazy. Now, what made you think of bringing your trains to the beach?
Over the past couple of years, I've always been building these sand walls up whenever me and my parents go to the beach. And one night, after I did the RC conversion with the PIKO into that LGB New York Central locomotive, I thought of it just bringing a circle of LGB track to the beach and just having that go around.
Wow. I mean, quite honestly, I think you're probably the first person to think of bringing a train to the beach. I've never seen that before. Jonathan, have you?
No, we couldn't believe it, but considering who was involved, it was not surprising.
Wow. Very neat. Very neat. They want to know what beach.
Margate City.
Very cool. Very cool. So this is the big question that, is going to kick off tonight's topic. And, Dylan, we reposted and reshared your awesome video you got here of the trains running on the beach. And so many people asked, how'd you do it? So how did you do it?
Well, I just used the PIKO, was it the 3504 or 040 RC conversion with a CCTV 12-volt camera battery. So I just brought a circle of LGB 18,000 track and a couple pieces of straight track. I built up the sand mound, just laid the track on top of it, and then it just worked.
Wow, crazy. And how did you know how to use PIKO's system to convert it? Did you just, buy it and give it a shot, or you did a little research?
I saw it in their catalog this January or whenever the catalog came out. I thought it'd be a cool idea to try out and give it a try on one of my locomotives.
Very cool. Very cool. So you weren't afraid of it. You kind of just bought it, saw it in the catalog, and gave it a shot, and now
Yep.
you got this Instagram video that's going viral here, which is awesome. And I'm sure you're gonna post it up on YouTube at a later point. But
No, yeah.
that's pretty awesome. And Trainman Barrett wants to know if the tide killed your infrastructure.
It was getting close.
Okay.
It didn't completely take it out that day, but it was right up against it at
Wow.
one point.
And what was the reaction with everybody out there?
Oh, everybody loved it. Everybody was taking pictures, coming up, asking about it.
Wow.
I had one guy there, Jeff. He had a drone. He was giving me some drone shots. I have a few of those saved.
Really? Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And do you think people were enamored with it and wanted to get into trains or try it, or did they tell you about how they had trains as a kid?
Oh yes, a couple. Yeah, they said they had their grandparents or whatever had a Lionel train layout in their basement, but nothing like that.
Sure.
They're all asking all types of different questions.
Cool. Well, Jonathan, I think you're gonna have to put this in your next catalog: how to bring trains to the beach.
Well, you got to take a PIKO train to the beach for that. But yeah.
Next time. But he did use your RC system, and I think that leads to a great point that your RC system can work on other manufacturers, including your own. And I would like you guys to kind of talk about how you guys actually did this. Or John, how your system actually works and what you need to get this going.
Okay. Well, Dylan did a little surgery on the locomotive, but it's pretty simple. And at the simplest, it's really just clipping or disconnecting two wires and putting this little device that we call the RC receiver in line. I don't know if that really is coming through on the screen there, but it's a small circuit board that fits in the loco. It could even fit in a car behind the loco where you would have the batteries, but in most G-scale locos, there's plenty of room to fit this little circuit board. And you can even, in most cases, put the batteries inside the loco. That's a little trickier because you got to find a place to get to them and charge them and all that. But that's it. At its simplest, it's two wires into the board and two wires out of the board, basically just interrupting things between the track power pickups and the motor and electronics of the loco. So that just kind of inserts in line there. And then you've got a little pocket remote that comes with the kit. And it's as simple as pushing two buttons forward and reverse. And it works. That's the simplicity of it.
Very cool. Very cool. And I see you got the Halloween train up there. And that's RC powered, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. That's a different variation of the same technology, and we've had this out for about a year and a half now, a little over a year and a half. That's actually track power, and I know you guys are selling a lot of the track power units, the 35028. And I told you the other day that should be the only G-scale power supply you're selling, just about, because it's so convenient. You don't have to. It's controlling the track power with the same RC technology, but the receiver is in a little, I don't know if you can see over here, little silver box that takes the place of your traditional power pack connected to the track.
Now that number is 35028?
028, yeah, 35028. That's a whole package with the transformer and the controller. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you. And the little pocket remote. And that's great because it's got a 60 to 80 foot RC range. So that's plenty big enough for most people's garden railroads. So you can walk all over the place with it, and you don't have to run back and turn a knob on the transformer to control your train. You got that all right there.
Very cool. And the unit that Dylan was using was 35040?
35040. Comes in a little box like this, and that's the pieces that are in there. It includes also that extra little circuit board with a slide switch on it connected with the wire. That's what we call a rectifier board. And that allows you to power the RC receiver and your train either from battery power, which probably the majority of people are doing, or from track power. So if you want to have just a transformer with a constant like 16 to 24 volts on the track, and you still want to have your train pick up power from the rails, but be controlled by RC and each train individually, you can flip that switch and hook it up to the track power pickups in the loco instead of a battery. Technically, you could have both. You could have the battery in the loco and just throw the switch if you want to run on track power. So,
yep, very cool.
Neat little thing about that is there are 8 channels on the back of the remote. Is a little dip switch. Just pop off a little cover there, and you turn that dip switch with a screwdriver, and you've got 8 selectable channels. And you could have several of those little pocket remotes, or everybody could have their own and be running their own train. So each person can be the engineer of their own train, and you don't have to worry about track power if you're battery powered. So,
very cool.
And it's kind of a whole lot of things going on there, all from the same basic technology.
And you guys can't be intimidated out there. Dylan, you're a young guy. I mean, you just figured this out. No instructions, no nothing.
Oh, yes.
You took it out of the box and just plugged it in.
Yes, it was very simple.
Very
the
cool.
instructions are very easy to follow. I really didn't have any trouble at all when I installed it in that.
Did Jonathan pay you to say that?
No.
We had no idea this happened until we saw it. Like, what in the world? Oh, it's Dylan. Okay.
Very cool. Very cool.
I explained it all. But that was a perfect use of it. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think this may be a good segue. I think some people, before we go into a little more products for the PIKO lineup that's coming out this fall and winter, Dylan, you actually have an amazing backyard layout.
Oh, yes. I try my very best to keep adding to it and making it look nice.
Very cool. And how'd you get into it?
Well, my grandfather started probably over 20 years ago now. He got a little starter set from what I know. And in his basement, he started out with a 4x8 sheet of plywood. And he just kept expanding on that. If you go to my Instagram and look through some of my older posts, you can see that on there.
Right.
There's all types of levels to it. So he just kept buying. Then eventually I got into it, me and my brother. But everything you see in the backyard and mostly on my Instagram and YouTube is just all the stuff I've bought over the years.
Very nice. And now I see you got like a workshop there.
Oh, yeah.
So you work on trains and kind of put them together and, dabble with it, or?
Hey, I buy a lot of used G-scale trains off eBay, so a lot of times they're not in the greatest of shape. But I get a lot of it for cheap, so I can easily afford it.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's see your backyard. I'm sure everybody out there is kind of itching to see what you kind of put together.
Oh, yes. I'll take you. Let me turn the camera around here. Yeah, just a few of the trains.
You got some collection there.
Yeah, stacked up.
Very cool. A lot of time. Cool.
Yeah, let me put this back though. Doesn't make the greatest viewing experience, sure, but put it on and.
That's pretty clever, making use of that panel there to get to it. Yeah.
So now, John, he just needed to switch that switch to make it RC?
That has a switch on the battery I bought.
Okay.
To turn the battery on.
Gotcha.
So once I
saw you using a PIKO handheld remote for that?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yes, a little pocket remote. I have a few different trains out here. So I have one I had the pocket remote for this, and then I have the other analog for the other handheld remote for the other train I have out here.
Cool.
Okay. Not only one-handed, but he's doing two in one hand. That's impressive.
Wow. Now, what your parents allow you to put it all over the house?
I don't think they like it very much, but they put up with it.
Very cool. Neat. Quite honestly, this looks like a display that you see at Disney World.
Oh, way nicer than that.
Yeah, very cool.
Awesome.
Really neat.
Now, the Garden Railroad is very scenic, but it doesn't get as many views as the crazy videos of poor Thomas diving into the pool and stuff.
Yeah, Dylan has these wild videos where he has Thomas the Tank stuff or G-scale trains going into pools and crashing, but they get so many views. Everybody loves the excitement.
All right. I love to see that. It's not just the trains on the shelf in the workshop, but Dylan runs his trains on a regular basis.
Very cool.
It was just pouring out here like 30 minutes ago, so I had everything out in the rain. Luckily, it stopped.
Glad it's all cooperating. Yeah.
Is that a Camelback, John?
Yeah, I think so.
Very cool. I recognize those sheds.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, Dylan, how long did it take you to put all this together?
Over the past like 5 years, I've slowly been expanding out here.
Oh, wow.
But
And for the winter time, do you leave it up?
yes. I have some videos on my YouTube channel, and once again, if you go back through some of my older Instagram posts, you'll see these. I run them out in the snow, so I have some cool videos and pictures of that.
Yeah. Seen him plowing snow and everything. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, sometimes I think I'm abusing them, but they keep running.
It's a good testing lab for us.
Now, for the scenery, did you level all that gravel and stuff like that, or did someone help you? It looks great.
Yeah, I just got a couple of dump truck loads of a couple tons of stone at a time, slowly spread it out.
Wow. Good for you.
But
Now, this goes around your whole backyard?
yes. Take you over.
Wow.
Around the yard, around the pool, into the pool.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, sometimes over the pool, sometimes in it.
Now, how do you get the trains over the pool when you do those videos?
Well, most of the time I'm just pushing them. A little bit of a secret there. Like the one line out Thomas, he hasn't been working for years.
Right.
That's why he gets the torture test of getting splashed in water all the time.
Well, movie magic. Well, everyone there, I hope you guys all see the cool things you could do with G-scale trains, outdoor garden railway trains. I mean, this is just awesome. Really cool, really going around. Dylan's got some collection.
Yeah.
So eventually I want to make it go around the entire yard over there. I have the track for it now. I just got to get the time to do it.
Very cool. Do your parents trip over your trains at night?
Not anymore. I think they're used to it by now.
Good morning. Okay.
Very cool. Very neat. Now, do you leave your trains outside all the time, or you bring them back into the shed overnight?
Most of the time, I'll bring them all inside. Sometimes I'll leave some of the train cars out overnight.
Yeah. Very neat. Very cool. You got a huge collection, Dylan. Really neat.
Very cool.
All right, everyone out there. I hope you give a comment. Let Dylan know how cool his layout is, and please share your thoughts. This is pretty awesome. Very cool. Neat stuff, Dylan.
Yes, thank you.
Bruce says it looks great. That track cleaning loco?
No, it's just the was it the
Blue
Blue
Goose?
Goose? Just a normal one.
Blue Goose. Gotcha.
Of course, I got my collection of White Pass Alcos I keep growing on.
Very cool. Gary says it's inspirational. Well, Dylan, you did a great job. Your layout looks amazing. I really thank you for taking the time to share this with us and to the world out there. And it's definitely an awesome layout. And I thank you very much for taking the time and being an inspiration to all the trained people out there.
Oh, yes, well, thank you for having me on and letting me show everybody.
We appreciate it and appreciate the support, Dylan. And we'll stay in touch. And for that, now we're going to kick it over to Jonathan. And we're going to have John just kind of go over some new PIKO items and what you got up and coming for the fall Christmas job.
Okay. And I think you probably got a link maybe on your channel to the recent video that Dan did showing how to install that receiver into a simple little PIKO steam loco. That was a real basic one, a non-sound loco, and it's super simple, like we were saying, 4 wires. And that's also on our YouTube channel if people are looking for it. So Dan showed it step by step.
There's Dan.
There it is, yes.
There's Dan. He's live.
There it is. So
PIKO actually did a video of the installation. So if you're not as enthusiastic or I guess brave as Dylan is, you got this great instructional video on how to do it. But Dylan said he was just able to read the instructions and put it together. So good job, PIKO.
Good job, Dylan. He read the instructions first, so that always helps. Yeah. So yeah, we could show off a few other new items as well. You mentioned the track cleaning loco, and we've got the little the Clean Machine RC that's got that same technology in it, and it's got a little switch underneath there, and there's a little dip switch is reached with a screwdriver, so we set that one to a different RC channel. I think the Halloween hauler is on channel 0, and we set this one to channel 1, so the two of them are are running separately. So we put the switch on. That's got the batteries that fit right into the hood. Little 6 AAA batteries. We use high capacity rechargeables, and this thing will actually run for typically over 2¼ hours, just continuously running around the track. And those cleaning shoes are actually very effective. So you just let it circle the track, but of course you got the cool remote in your hand, so you can also back it in and out of sidings. So it's not just good for going around a circle or something. So that's
neat.
And we will have very shortly in November, we'll have a new version of the non-RC clean machine that you just switch it on and let it run, but you don't have the cool remote. But it costs a little less, so it depends on what you want out of it.
Yeah, those track cleaning engines that you came out with are a great thing, and I'm sure, Dylan, it's probably helpful to get around all those areas of all that track you got laid out instead of bending down and really scrubbing it.
Yeah.
You can let the engine do it. So that's a good thing, John.
Absolutely.
Now, that New York Central passenger set that you got there, can we?
Yes, sir.
That's brand new, that release.
Yeah, you just got those in. We got too many things on the track to run that here, but yeah, a new version of a mogul locomotive and matching passenger cars. And we wanted to do something different, so it's decorated in the New York Central pacemaker scheme with the red and the gray, the two-tone with the black and the white trim. Just had somebody else today that got one of those. He's all the way up in Maine and said, "Wow, that just looks gorgeous." So people seem to like the colorful paint schemes, and nobody does decorations like PIKO does. So that's a whole train with the locomotive and 3 cars. They're all separate pieces, but you can add a couple extra coaches if you want. Should look great, and I know it's in stock at Train World, and if you need more, you know where to find them. So you can count on that. So,
and John,
yeah, we were showing you the Halloween train earlier. That's the Halloween hauler starter set, which is also a recent new item, just in time for the Halloween season. That comes with a circle of track and the RC track power control. So it's got a transformer and the control that you hold in your hand. So Dan's operating that. And I think for Halloween has just become such a huge thing with trains. I'm amazed. People have been doing trains in Christmas for 100 years, but Halloween is kind of a newer thing, and we're amazed at that. People are putting candy in the cars and using it to deliver candy to trick-or-treaters or just for something cool around the house. And there's also the latest in the series that we started of Halloween hopper cars. So this one is the Spooky Halloween hopper. And by the way, all of these have glow-in-the-dark highlights. So if you let it get out in the sun for a while and then take it in the dark.
When will the hoppers be available, the Halloween hoppers, John?
Those are shipping to you right now. They literally just arrived, and the guys have been busy unpacking for the past couple of days. We had a little thing we call 40 feet of fun, arrived a couple of days ago. Called the container from Germany. So the Halloween hoppers are on there, and I believe there's a shipment going out to Train World probably tomorrow with those. So, yes.
And
so plenty of those, but as with the previous years, those sold out very quickly. So grab those while you can. Don't wait around until a week before Halloween.
And just a quick question. Sorry to interrupt, John. Karen just wanted to ask: can you set your track cleaning loco to track power? Is that possible? Or
nope. That's the unique concept, but behind the clean machine is that it is completely battery powered, because there are other track cleaning locomotives and cars that you have to pull behind a locomotive, but they require the track to be at least partially clean enough for the train to run.
Gotcha.
This can run over filthy, dirty track as long as there's no branches or rocks in the way. It'll just keep running until your track is polished clean. So and really we found 1,100 milliamp hour AAA batteries. and it takes 6 of them. And with those, it really does run at least 2.25. We found up to like 2 hours and 25 minutes consistently on a fully charged set of batteries. So, and that's time for most layouts to have your track just polished, shiny, clean. If you want more faster cleaning, you can run 2 of them coupled together, set to the same channel. So,
yep.
You know, it's a great and effective tool for cleaning tracks.
Yeah. You need. You're not going to be able to clean your track if you don't have power to the track.
Exactly.
And then Bruce also had a good question. Will you make a sound GE 23-ton locomotive?
The sound for these locos is in the works.
Okay.
It's been a long time in the works. It's a challenge to fit it all in there, but I think you're going to be pleased with the results. A couple of different options for the track-powered ones that also are DCC as well as DC, and then an option for the battery power. We've got to have both. When we really first conceived these locos a couple years ago, you know, we thought of battery power from the start, but we had no clue that was just going to go bonkers. And
yeah,
everybody wants battery power in these. It's just so easy. You just, you know, even the Santa Fe, UP, Penzi locos, that are not track cleaning locos, but just take them out of the box, put them on the track and run. No track cleaning needed. So we kind of started a trend. People have been doing battery powered locos, just like Dylan is doing. That's been done for years with various brands of RC, but we're the first really from the factory with a sophisticated but simple RC system already installed in the loco.
Now, Marcel also had a good question about sound and lights. Does the PIKO RC system allow that via remote yet, or not yet?
Yes, of course. If the loco has lights, it can power them. There are a couple of outputs for forward and reverse and cab light.
Cool.
This is aimed at being a super simple system. You know, there are DCC systems with 10 different lighting outputs. This is not that, and this only has 4 buttons. There are not dozens of fancy buttons. So the lights are an automatic thing that's directional with the train. But yes, it can provide that. And for sound systems, Dan's got to get busy very soon on making a video of the sound install with one of our simple little locos that has analog sound to show you that it is pretty easy to do that. And the other 2 buttons on the remote, the 1 and 2 buttons, are already set up in the receiver, and it's got the outputs to act as little relay contacts to trigger like a bell and whistle, a bell and horn. So the technology is there. If you've got the sound system, with the triggers, the little normally on a G-scale loco, there are little reed switches on the bottom of the loco. This takes the place of that. So the technology is there in the system.
Very cool. And just a good thought by Mike. He just wanted to say, as an older G-scaler, having Dylan doing what he does at his age really makes me proud that hobby G-scale will prevail. So great job, Dylan.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So what else we got?
I look old, so we got to have the younger generation.
That's right. You still look young, John.
So Dan's holding, our Vanna White here is holding up one of the other new cars that just arrived. That's a Christmas car with a die-cast pickup truck, and the pickup truck is carrying a Christmas tree home from the tree farm or the forest.
That's a nice-looking car too. It's
pretty sharp looking.
Cheapy.
Yeah, and that's another one that's only made once, so folks will want to get their orders in with Train Wheel right away.
Very cool. Nice stuff.
Tons more new items as well. We just didn't want to overwhelm you, but they can find them all at trainworld.com, of course, or on our website.
This was great, John, and we're really excited for the Halloween stuff. And I think people now seeing this RC stuff, I think will do very well. So I I think once they get the hang of it, and Dan did that video on how to install it, and you could see Dylan, as young as he is, he wasn't afraid and he just installed it. So that was great to see. So I think it was a great episode. Lots to come. PIKO's doing a great job shipping stuff. I will say though, John, we could have had a lot more views tonight and crashed the episode if you came in with your bathing suit and went to the beach.
You don't want to break the internet, you know.
It was either that or Dylan may have gotten some of the Jersey Shore cast to go down to the beach with the trains.
Yeah.
But all in all, great episode. Dylan, thank you so much for what you're doing with the hobby, and keep it going with the trains. We really appreciate it. And John, thank you so much for everything with PIKO. We really appreciate it. And Dan, thanks for joining.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, everyone out there. You can get all your PIKO trains at trainworld.com. Shop online 24/7. Thank you so much. Have a good night.